How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Manatee Gaming. Yeah, like I said, we're going to be in the game today because I do have a power cord to use. Woo! It feels weird to be back in Runescape. But anyway, here we go. So in this video, I'm actually going to be doing something a little bit different. I said I was going to be talking about stuff for Menaphos, however you say it. You know what? I'm just going to start calling it Menaphos. And then if I find out that that's wrong, then I'll just say something else. You know, I should probably watch one of those videos that they released. That way I can tell how to pronounce it. But anyway, Menaphos is what I'm going to call it right now. And anyway, so this video is going to be about another really frequent question that I get asked, and that's kind of like what I like to make my videos about, especially during this 30-day challenge, because doing a new video every single day is quite a challenge, especially when I've got so much going on in the real world and everywhere else. So what I'm going to be doing is probably trying to answer as many of the questions you guys have as possible in video form. Now, if there's a very simple question that I can't really make an entire video about, then I'm probably not going to do that. But I do try to make a video about the questions I get. I do plan on getting more into the Menaphos stuff coming up here, just probably not this day. But this has a little bit to do with Menaphos because if you guys are wondering where I just got all of this stuff from, these three supreme stars I actually just got from my daily keys, but everything else I actually got from this. So remember to claim your chest from the countdown to Menaphos. It's right over here. I actually didn't even realize there was a chest to do. I saw it pop up here, and I'm like, why is this up here again? So I clicked it, and then I totally forgot there's a chest over here. So just click claim. And then I actually just claimed everything that's not these three supreme stars just came from that chest. So as you can see, sorry, I lied. These two protein packs and these three supreme stars is what I already had. So let's move these over here, and that way you guys can very clearly see. So everything right here, guys, all this is all from that chest. So pretty awesome. I mean, pretty awesome. So what this has to do with today's video, though, is actually about a very frequent question that I get from people, and that is, what should I put my lamps and stars into? Okay, so what you should put your lamps and stars into really changes depending on what your total level is and everything like that. So I'm maxed. I'm not going to show off my stats right now, but I'm maxed. So for me, my decisions are going to be slightly different than what your decisions should be. There is one thing that you guys should keep in mind, and no matter what level you are, this is kind of a good rule of thumb. Don't put your lamps and stars into skills that are really fast. It does not matter how expensive they are. It does not matter how expensive they are. I remember that when I was trying to max originally, I used to put a lot of my stars into Herblore. And the reason why I did that is because I was like, well, I'm going to put some stuff into Herblore because that way that it'll be cheaper. I'll be able to afford it quicker. That's one way of thinking, but I would highly recommend you guys don't do that. Don't put your lamps and stars into things that are already really fast. The reason why is because, guys, time is far more important than GP, and they actually are one and the same because it really depends on how you play the game. But in general, you're going to earn money, and the way you're going to earn money is by spending your time. So they are basically one and the same. That for sure it applies to the real world, but it also applies to RuneScape as well. So if something is extremely fast, then don't put your lamps and stars into that. Instead, put it into the slower things. If you're not maxed and you're also below level 90 agility, then I would actually recommend putting them into agility. And then the main reason for that, guys, is because there's not that many great ways to train your agility, and which makes agility extremely slow previous to 90. Once you hit level 90, then using Silverhawks is much more efficient, and you can definitely Silverhawks all the way to 200 million experience. Even though you're probably thinking that's really expensive, there are ways to pay for Silverhawks as you use them, and so you're not really actually losing. Yes, you are still losing the full amount of money, but you will make up the money as you go, so it's not really as big of an impact on your bank. But the thing is, though, is below level 90. It's very inefficient to use Silverhawks because they're extremely expensive at that point. And so it is considered a slower skill for agility. So that's a great option to put them into. Another really awesome level, well, not awesome level, but actually two more things that are really good to put your lamps and stars into, no matter what level you are. So you can be maxed, you can be a fresh player, whatever. And that is going to be your rune crafting and your divination. So rune crafting and divination are both fairly slow. They're honestly two of the slowest skills in the game still. Even by doing caches, it's still slower than some other skills. If you guys actually calculate how much EXP you get from doing a cache, and then see how much that is per hour, it's still less EXP per hour than some other methods. Like for example, Herblore making overloads is far faster than doing caches, even if you consider them for an entire hour, which makes divination very slow, and is especially slow if you're a lower level player. So I'd recommend putting them into divination. I frequently, actually, if we look right here at my skills, I guess I will bring out the skills because I need to explain this. So if we look right here, you can see what I put my bonus experience into as being a max player. I don't currently have any in divination, and the reason why I don't have any in divination at the moment is because personally I actually kind of enjoy divination, so I'm not really worried about rushing it too fast, but I do occasionally put it into divination. I'm just really focused on rune crafting right now. So as you see, my rune crafting has almost 3.5 million EXP in it, or bonus EXP in it, simply because rune crafting is one of my lowest skills. So that was definitely one that I want to help to boost up, and like I just said, rune crafting is one of the slowest skills in the entire game. If you do rune crafting the most efficient way, which is basically doing the RuneSpan daily stuff, and I can definitely explain that in a future date if you guys don't really understand what the the RuneSpan daily stuff is. Essentially, it is you do RuneSpan for like 1 hour each day, and your EXP for that hour is over 200,000 EXP. Obviously, by running through the Abyss, you can get really good rates, even higher than 200,000. But doing that daily rune span, honestly, is just about the same amount of EXP if you do it very efficiently and very effectively. So when you have rune crafting bonus EXP, then you can hit numbers of up to 400,000 or higher because of the fact you have the bonus EXP. So that's a big reason why I put it into rune crafting, is I like to make my daily rune crafting stuff go quicker. But anyway, yeah, I can explain that more if you guys really want me to. I'm not going to put in this video to make it super long. So I currently don't have any in my agility. I was actually putting some in my agility. That's how I got to 36.3 million agility, which to me is a lot of agility. And I'm like, holy cow. Every time I look at it, I'm like, my God, I have that much agility. The thing is with this is I've not really actually used that many Silverhawks, to be totally honest with you. I mostly have done my agility through other ways. A lot of lamps and stars and whatnot. But as you can see, those definitely add up a lot. And if you want to get this at a lower level, kind of like I said, at a lower level, guys, it's a good idea to put in agility. It's not really any longer a good idea to put it into your agility if you're a higher level. And the biggest reason why there is because if you go do Barbarian Assault hard mode, you can get extremely fast bonus experience for agility. So it honestly is a complete waste to spend all of your stars and lamps on agility, because you can go to Barbarian Assault and get it done very quickly. It only takes maybe it really depends on your playtime, but maybe a week worth of Barbarian Assault hard mode is honestly going to give you enough to have bonus experience all the way to 120 agility, which I plan on doing sometime soon, and maybe we'll host some events for that. But anyway, guys, so I would not do that. Another one that you definitely could do for bonus experience and your stars and everything is going to be thieving. So thieving and agility kind of follow the exact same rules that I'm going to be telling you guys here, and that is if you are a lower level player, then thieving and agility are great. If you're a higher level player like a max player, then do not put bonus experience and your stars into these two, especially not thieving, because thieving is extremely fast after you get to a certain level. If you are below the level of, I'd say, about 86, then feel free to put lamps and stars into your thieving. But once you're level 86, you can use an Abyssal Lurker and boost and go do Dwarf Traders, and then from Dwarf Traders you can move on to Prif Elves or continue to Dwarf Traders, and both are extremely fast EXP. And also, you get some really awesome items from doing the Prif Elves. In all honesty, guys, if you do not have Prif Elves unlocked for pickpocketing, I would probably stop everything else you're doing and go do it. Because you get some really awesome items from doing that, including brawlers and other stuff that you can use for the rest of the game. And then also actually generates quite a bit of money and is fast EXP and is also AFK. Thieving, to be honest with you, thieving is probably my favorite skill in the entire game, just by doing the Prif Elves. I just really enjoy it. But you can obviously do traders or whatever you do faster, but this video is not about the fastest way to do thieving. So here are some skills that I would say never, ever put your bonus experience into, regardless of what your level is. So if you're going to put these lamps and stars and stuff, what should you not put them into ever? So here we go. And these kind of apply to, it doesn't matter what level you are at all. The first one here is going to be invention. Don't ever put anything into invention. The only reason why I have anything invention here myself is because I got invention stars that I really couldn't prevent. Do not put them into invention. Invention is already super, super fast. And to be honest with you, you could never train invention on its own and only do like tools for like skillvention, and then you would easily get 200 million invention before you know hit like 200 million and everything else. So please do not put your bonus experience or stars into this. It doesn't matter what, it does not matter what level you are, even if you're level 2. Don't do it. The next thing, guys, is going to be summoning. Please do not put your lamps and stars into this either. It once again does not matter what level you are. If you have gotten 99 Slayer already, you will have enough charms to do 99 summoning. Now that is obviously assuming that you did Slayer on its own and did not buy Slayer. Like if you did dummies or something like that, then you're obviously not going to have enough charms. But if you did Slayer the legitimate way or did any kind of bossing and stuff, you're going to have enough charms for 99. I do not do that much PVM, as you can clearly tell with my stats. I am not Mr. PVM expert killer, and I've gotten 62 million summoning EXP, so that just tells you how fast this is. Please do not put anything into this. Next thing, guys, is going to be farming. Once again, don't put anything into farming. I did a lot of my bonus experience and stars and lamps and whatever into farming, and that's simply because I really want this cape. This is probably my favorite cape in the entire game, and so that's the reason why I wanted to do that. But I knowingly did it, like knowing that it was a bad idea. It is a very bad idea because farming is extremely fast. It is extremely fast and also doesn't cost anything. Well, okay, opportunity cost it does, but if you do your herb runs every day, like 1 or 2 herb runs a day, you'll pay for all the trees you actually use. So it's it doesn't really cost much. You can also do war bands for this. It's just stupid fast, guys. Don't put your lamps and stars. Don't be dumb like I was. Next thing, guys, is gonna be fire making. Don't put it into fire making for obvious reasons. Fire making is extremely cheap and extremely fast, and you can even do Book of Char and make fire making like even more fast. And then there's also methods in the Patreon, by the way, that make it so you can do fire making with a profit. So just don't do fire making as your lamps and stars. Same thing with cooking, basically the same reasons for fire making, just a complete waste. But yeah, that's it. It essentially, guys, just goes with whatever is extremely fast, don't do it. Don't do it for fletching. Don't do it for crafting. Don't do it for hunter. Hunter is extremely stupid fast. Also, if you plan on getting trim completionists at any given time, or you just want to do Thaler grinding, then I highly recommend doing the heist minigame. And you can actually just AFK on the heist minigame and get a whole bunch of hunter bonus experience. That is a lot of the reason why I have 63.9 million hunter, is because I did a lot of heist for my Thaler. And then that essentially made it so that I was able to get massive amounts of bonus experience. So you do not need to put stars or lamps in this. I mean, honestly, the skill is already 1.2 million per hour without bonus experience or stars. So it's even heist is not the best thing. But if you need Thaler, then it's probably the best choice for Thaler. Slayer, another great example of what not to put your lamps and stars into. The reason why I don't do it for Slayer is because Slayer is literally extremely beneficial. You're killing monsters, you're making money, you're getting charms for summoning, etc., etc., etc. There's not really any reason to be doing Slayer for your lamps and stars. The only time I would use lamps and stars for Slayer, guys, is if you are a pure, like if you are a level 3 who's trying to get your Slayer up. That's the only reason why you should be putting anything into this. Otherwise, please don't be lazy. Just train the skill. If you don't want to train Slayer, there's a good chance you just don't like combat in general. And then you can also use dummies for that too, rather than lamps and stars again. Construction is another great example of what not to put lamps and stars into, just because it's obscenely fast. All of your combats, don't put lamps and stars into it. Don't put lamps and stars into prayer either, for the same reason of all the fast things. In all honesty, guys, I just realized toward the end of this video that it'd be quicker just to tell you things that you should put them into, but at least you guys have answers here as what not to do. Your rune crafting, your divination. Let's go through real quick. Rune crafting, divination, thieving and agility if you're low level, maybe smithing if you're low level. And your mining and fishing, fishing and woodcutting, not terrible ideas. But those things I just mentioned right there are probably the only things you should ever even consider putting your lamps and stars into. So I really hope that helps you guys out. There we go. Let's go ahead and move this back down there. Woo. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about here, guys, is going to be your dummy crates. So I'm actually going to go ahead and open the dummy crate, and it says take all dummies. Now, what do we choose as far as what we should be taking. So you're going to get 2 elite training dummies from this crate, and so whenever you get these crates, what should you actually be using them on? The obvious answer not to do is going to be hunting, so we're not even going to consider hunting. The next thing that I'm not going to consider, because the fact that I'm already 120 thieving and I'm, post 99 thieving in general, post level 86 thieving in general, I do not want to take this thieving dummy. The agility dummy, I also don't want to take that either. And the big reason, guys, why you don't want to specifically go train agility whenever you don't have to is because your Silverhawks don't take any time. They literally don't take any of your time. So you can just wear your Silverhawk boots wherever you go, and if you're earning money by doing other things, then agility just does itself. It's like invention. You don't really have to train it. So there's not really any reason to take agility if you're already doing Silverhawks. If you are lower level than say you're below level 90, then taking the agility training dummy is not a bad idea because it'll help you get to the point where you can do Silverhawks more effectively. Or you could also do the same exact thing right here for the thieving training dummy. If you are lower than level 86, kind of like I mentioned, then taking the thieving training dummy is not that bad of an idea. You might want to even take it just to put yourself to 87 or whatever. But I'm obviously not going to take either one of those because of the fact that I'm already kind of there. But then we got the Slayer training dummy, which once again is another thing to never really take. So when it comes to these training dummies, guys, all these training dummies actually suck, and that's just kind of where it goes down to. So due to the fact that Slayer, I don't want to take that because it's beneficial skill. I don't want to take Thieving because I love Thieving, and I don't want to take Hunter because Hunter's stupid fast. Even despite the fact that I really shouldn't even take it, there's not really any other options besides me to take the Agility ones. So if you're a max player, it looks like honestly Agility is going to be the one to go. And that's just because, going through everything right there, we know that none of them are actually really efficient things to do, but Agility is probably going to be the thing to do, and that's really honestly just going to save me a little bit of money. So whenever I get these little skill train dummies, I basically just consider them to be a little bit of a way to save a little bit of extra cash. Because, like I said, everything else is completely pointless. Even doing these are completely pointless, but whatever, I'll save some extra money. It's basically free money. When it comes to the protein packs, we're going to look at these protein packs real quick. So the protein packs, going through here, I can tell you right off the bat, guys, that if you are already a max player, the only things you should even be considering out of these ever, and I know there's going to be people in the comments below that are like, you're stupid, but the only things that you should ever consider out of here are going to be protein logs, protein traps, protein bars. These are the only things you should ever be looking at, and I'll tell you why. Protein cogs, first of all, completely pointless. Do not ever train invention alone on purpose. Just don't do it. It doesn't make any sense. Unless you literally need invention, you have to rush invention. You have to do it. Because your comp cape is only missing invention. Or maybe you're maxed everything else and you just need invention. That's the only time you should ever be trying to rush invention. So unless you have a specific reason, avoid that. Protein memories are not too bad of EXP, guys, if you're a lower level in divination. But if you're already high level in divination, avoid these as well because they're not that fast. The next thing here is going to be protein logs. The reason why I said protein logs are really good because if you use fire-making brawlers and use a brazier and then go burn these logs out in the wilderness with those brawlers, you're going to want to burn the elders, or sorry, not the elders, you can burn these. Yeah, obviously you can burn elders with those brawlers too. But if you use brawlers and all your other boosts and everything out in the wilderness at Mage Bank, then using these protein logs is actually extremely fast fire-making experience. So that's about the only reason why. If you're not going to be doing that with them, then avoid those too. The protein hides. Protein hides are just really bad EXP, y'all. And just to be honest with you, they're really not good. They're not good in any way, shape, or form. Even if you're a lower level player, then cutting gems is going to be better for you. There are quite a few times where cutting gems is actually not that expensive, and I could probably explain that in a future 120 crafting guide for you guys, because I'm actually about ready to finish my 120 crafting. I got 70.5 million. I'm going to do that pretty soon here. But protein hides are just really, really, really pathetically slow. They're not worth doing ever. Just avoid them. Protein traps. These are really fast, really, really fast. But the only way these are going to be really fast for you guys is if you have the private Grenwall area. So you get those from doing the big Chinchampa minigame, and then you get the Grenwall tickets. So when you do big Chinchampa minigame, don't cash out your stuff for EXP. Instead, cash it out for the Grenwall tickets. And then when you get these protein traps, then go use them there. The best thing about these is the fact they are AFK. Which means that you can just literally leave your account going there for about 4.5 minutes, so that way you don't log out, and just go do something else. Go clean the house, make a sandwich, make some pancakes, whatever you feel like doing. And then that's honestly the reason why protein traps are great, because if you really, really hate Hunter, then you don't even have to do Hunter. The next thing, guys, is going to be protein planks. Don't ever get these. Completely pointless. the amount of money you're saving here is pathetic. It really is, because it's only going to cost you about 2,000 to 2,100 for a mahogany plank. The protean planks literally give you the exact same EXP as a protean plank, as a mahogany plank. And if you're sitting there thinking, oh, okay, the biggest argument people tell me is, but it's AFKable. Number one, it's not truly AFKable because you're not going to be able to, you're not actually able to wait that long before your inventory fills up with these. And yes, that is cool because, yes, I understand that in a perfect world, doing protean planks was great. Back when we can actually make the protean planks, they weren't terrible to use, but now they're pointless because what you guys got to remember is it's picking these over picking better options, and that's the reason why protean planks are bad. I'm not saying that overall they're a terrible thing. It's just if you have the choice between using these or using something else, don't use them. Mostly because they don't give you any more EXP than a regular mahogany plank. And they also are not saving you that much money because they literally are worth about, like, I don't know, 2,000 gold each. So if you're looking at this, that's what, 150k. So unless you're just like the most broke player on RuneScape and ever, then 150k is all you're getting from this, guys. Just keep that in mind. The next thing here is going to be protean bars. Protean bars are probably going to be the best option available, and that's just simply because these are extremely AFK. Let's start with that because you can literally just sit there and start doing the stack of these on a portable forge, and you can just sit there for quite a while. I can't remember exactly how long it is, but I think it's like 3 minutes of AFK. Also, the EXP you get from these is crazy. You get a massive amount of EXP from doing these, and so that's really awesome. It's basically like a slight bit better than doing Rune 2Hs without actually having to do Rune 2Hs. And especially if you are lower than like say you're not quite to the level of doing Rune 2Hs. Let's say you're like level 94, 95, whatever. Maybe you're level 90, 91, 91, whatever. If you are a decently high level but you're not able to do Rune 2Hs yet, then these protean bars are clutch. Mostly because of the fact they give you stupid amounts of EXP. And it's just like you're doing like protean bars and, the rune bars. And I believe that they're actually more EXP if you have all the boosts and all that kind of stuff going on. Either way, though, if they're not more, they're definitely comparable, which means you can essentially get that EXP rate without having to do the Rune 2Hs. So these are pretty freaking awesome. Me personally, what do I pick every time I go through these? As I do protean traps or I do protean bars. But I'm going to go ahead and wait because I don't know if I'm already going to have 120 hunter by the time next double experience comes around. That's the last thing I want to say today, guys, is that when it comes to using all of these items, like as far as these dummies or these proteans, don't use any of them until double XP weekend. I understand that it can be super tempting to be like, oh my god, I've got all these proteans and I could just use these to get a level real quick. You will get 2 times as much EXP during double experience weekend, guys, so don't waste them. The only time you should be wasting them, in a sense of like using them too early, is if it's like, okay, I have to have my agility to level X because I need to go do whatever. If it's literally stopping you from doing something else, then sure, go ahead and do it. I would honestly, personally, still recommend that you do it the slower way now. That way you can get faster EXP during double experience weekend. But I totally understand if you're trying to, maybe you're almost max cape, you're going to get max cape in a couple weeks, then, go ahead and burn through your proteans. Or maybe if you're going to be like, I'm almost 99 agility and I really just want 99 agility, then, then you can go knock out your dummies and whatever. But for the most part, guys, if you're able to, then please save them for double experience weekend. It's going to be extremely beneficial for you. You got to remember that all those extra boosts and everything, you're not just getting 2 times EXP during double experience weekend anymore because everybody and their brother is popping these pulse cores, and which means you're getting even more than 2 times EXP. And plus, the portables are everywhere, and you don't have any problem training some very fast skills. So, alright guys, I really hope that this helps out. I know I answered quite a few questions in this video. These are some of the most common questions that I get from people nowadays. And so I really wanted to make this video all about that, helping you guys out and empowering the RuneScape community. So I remember yesterday when everybody was like, I'm a superstar in the comments below. You guys are awesome. You guys are, like, I really do appreciate that you guys actually watched the video that entire length. And I really hope that helps you guys out. And the big reason why I wanted you guys to say I'm a superstar is because I want you guys to remember that it is your story that you're creating on this game. Like you can compare yourself to other people, and you probably should, but you should not put yourself down because you don't believe that you are far in the game, or you're like, well, I've only got blah blah blah, and I'm only level blah blah blah. The thing is, guys, you did that on your own. That's an accomplishment you should be proud of. So Alright guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Like always, hit the subscribe button if you'd like to. I'd really appreciate it. And, you know, obviously only if you want to watch my videos. If you don't, then please don't. But I will see you guys next time. I really appreciate all the likes and everything the videos have been getting. It's honestly super motivating for me, and I'm really enjoying making these videos for you. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, and you guys have a great night, or day, or morning, whatever it is for you. Have a good one.